And I'm pleased to be joined by Jimmy from Trashed.
Hello, it's
Hello.
me.
It's you, Jimmy, from Trashed. Is it trashed or thrashed?
Oh God. Oh, the never-ending struggle. It's trashed. Fuck.
Obviously, this is your first time on the show. Obviously, I've played you countless times. In fact, I think that's how I met you. Is from like, hey, I'm Chris. I do the alternative show. How you
Yeah.
doing?
It's like, oh, nice. Do you want to
Yeah,
come
no,
to a show?
yeah. Anyway, so anyone that isn't aware of Trash, tell us a little bit about the band.
So we are like three-piece punk rock. I push for us to be like, we're like emo punk rock, but a lot of people say that we're just pop punk. So I've given up the fight a little bit.
If they like it, that's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like visceral pop punk. If people are really going to push for it to be that, I'd say it's a bit more edgy than your standard. It's a bit more groove.
Excellent. I saw earlier. I was obviously doing some research and that. Like, I mean, I've known you guys for a while, but I don't really do research until I need to. So just
Yeah,
come to the show. So, but I read earlier you guys actually met at Reading Festival. Is that right?
yeah, that's sort of where our broship was properly formed. Like we knew each other a little bit in school. 'Cause Ben and Sam are a year older than me. So yeah, we met because Ben was doing like first year of music tech. So I sort of knew him through that, and like we both, I remember we both bonded over Avenged Sevenfold, and then yeah, sort of bumped into them in at Reading, and that's where we properly became like proper mates. We ended up like hanging out quite a lot over that weekend, and yeah, that was like the official start of us being like proper mates. We knew each other before that, but not well. Like it was more acquaintance.
It sort of takes being like stuck together for a weekend to really get to know people as
Yeah.
well, doesn't it?
Stuck together and like really pissed.
Yeah, perfect combination, isn't
Yeah, yeah,
it?
pretty good.
Oh yeah, because when I read that about, I was like, that seems so fucking random. Like, just have I was trying to picture how you just sort of met each other at Reading, but if you sort of knew each other before, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, no, we went to the same school, but
Oh,
I should have put our sort of, that was the cementing of the
yeah,
bond.
good say, because I meet loads of people at festivals. Most of them don't even know their name. Never
Yeah,
see them again. They're your best mates for 5 minutes, and then that's it.
yeah. Put your arm around them for a chorus of something, and
Yeah,
then they're
never.
gone forever.
Yeah. Anyway, of course, we are here to talk about your debut album, Happy in Hindsight.
Woo!
Yeah,
Hooray!
so we're recording this before it's come out, but how excited are you?
Very. I'm full of anxiety
Stress.
and anticipation, stress, excitement, all of it. Yeah, we've been having like a really good response. People seem really fucking surprisingly hyped for it, even on quite a small scale, which we are, which we operate within, I guess. But yeah, excited, but there's still a fuckload of work to do, so that's not fun.
I can imagine. What sort of things have you still got to do? Like the prep, you said you got a video on it.
Yeah, so Jesus Christ, yeah, we're finalizing the video, the last video, which we should have done fucking ages ago. Um, I'm trying to get CDs ordered before we go on tour, which isn't looking
That's
likely. Yeah.
that's a bit last minute now.
Yeah, that's sort of how we operate. I've got to do all of the like Facebook cover photos and SoundCloud covers and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's all that stuff still to do. Luckily, it is actually lined up for distribution and it is ready to go on Spotify. So that's fine. I did
That's
that
one
at
thing.
least. Yeah,
Yeah, good work.
yeah. Thanks, man. Bare minimum.
Yeah. Obviously I've seen a lot of things about the album being sort of about mental health and things like that. Is that the general theme behind it, or is it sort of a range of things?
I mean, it's sort of like a range of things per se within the realms of like mental health. So the album is essentially a concept album, following the concept of mental health issues. So it starts off in a really dark place with the first single, Decay. Um,
Yeah, I think you sort of can tell from the lyrics of that it's very much sort of in your own head,
Yeah, but
decaying.
that song is about when I was suicidal. So it's about suicidal thoughts, but sort of hanging on, um, you know, to life. That's where it's like, I guess I'll just decay, because it's like accepting that I'm just gonna live with it instead, but sort of being a bit resentful of that. And then as the album progresses, it goes through like frustration, it goes through grief, it goes through isolation, and then towards the end of the album, it goes far more positive, and it's a bit more it's more like accepting that things will get better, and that things don't stay shit forever.
Yeah.
And then it sort of finishes with like making amends, almost with yourself, but with someone close to you, whatever interpretation people want to take on the final song. But yeah, it's like making amends with someone you care about, and that could be making amends with you for because you have to fucking love yourself,
Yeah,
or making amends with people that you've pushed away whilst you were sort of struggling to figure out how to deal with shit. But yeah.
sure. It seems like it's definitely something that a lot of people are going to connect to, and like obviously a lot of people will be able to relate to it, especially given like COVID, and obviously loads of people obviously deal with depression and things like that. I think I saw today is actually Mental Health Awareness Day, so
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it's obviously so many people deal with things like that, and without even talking about it. So it's a good way to get people thinking about it and talking about things, and obviously seeing that they're not alone. They're not the only people that have been through this shit
Yeah,
or going
man.
through this shit. There, other people
Yeah,
have been.
like what we sort of want from the album, or what we hope, because we turn to music all the time when we're the three of us are feeling shit. Music is our vice, and if we can't find a voice for ourselves, there's usually someone else that's sort of managed to articulate how we're feeling, and we just kind of hope that this album is going to be that for people, that as well as it just being like a cool album that we're really happy with. We also really hope that if people need someone to sort of speak on their behalf to themselves so they can process what they're feeling, we hope it's an album that like people can turn to in those times.
Yeah, it definitely will be, because like I said, so many people deal with that, and maybe they don't even understand what they're going through, but having it sort of sung to them, it sort of like clarifies what they're feeling and what they're going through, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
So was there sort of any different influences to it, like musically, or is it just more of the same?
Yeah, man, it was we obviously with like Yours Not Mine and Faceplant, which are our first two EPs. That's like very fucking middle of the road. You can tell where we got the influences from on all of that.
I did see
Um,
something earlier. Was it your Bandcamp? I think it says if one more person says that we sound like Green Day, we'll be
yeah,
fucking stoked.
yeah, we fucking love it, man. People like sound like Green Day. It's like, oh, what, one of the biggest like rock bands in the fucking
Yeah,
world. Like, yeah, sweet, nice one.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like so it's gone from that being very like drenched in influences into those EPs were us like forming the foundation of our sound. And then with the album, it was sort of quite a natural um process of us, like it feels like we've almost like, not to sound too metaphoric and douchey, but it feels like we sort of carved out our own sound from that foundation. So we had two EPs where we were like, right, this is what we're about, this is like the shit we want to listen to and that we like. And then yeah, the album is like a bit more left field. I think there's some stuff in there that people aren't gonna necessarily totally expect, but at the same time, it's not gonna really, it's not gonna catch anyone off guard. There's not a fucking like country song in there or something. It's still very much trash. It's still very like emo, punk rock, pop punk. I love pop punk,
Yeah, good.
obviously. Um, but yeah, it's still very much us. But yeah, we've just brought in we basically just went a bit harder in on the production with Neil Kennedy and Kurt Fagan at the ranch in Southampton. Like we sort of, the first 2 EPs is pretty much what we play live.
Yeah.
And then this album is there's a lot more like detail, there's a lot more little things where if you listen to the album a couple of times, like other things will pop out. There's higher harmonies, lower harmonies, lead guitar bits, there's piano bits, there's
I love those subtle things that you don't pick up on the first time. It's like you listen through headphones and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck is it? I remember I listened to I think it's Skater Boy, Avril Lavigne.
Yeah,
I think I listened through my headphones and all of a sudden you heard like a boom, and I'm like, I've never heard that before, but that's fucking awesome.
To be fair, Avril Lavigne was famous for her nuance. No, but it's like totally, man. It's there's some stuff in there like Go With the Flow by Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
First time I realized that there was a fucking piano pedaling under it, like the din 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 din. I was like, holy shit, that's fucking amazing. Like that's so sick. So we've got like a bit of that sort of stuff in there, and just like a few bits that that sort of separate the album from the live show, because the live show for us is always going to be packed with energy and just very raw and very like, we try and make it as visceral as possible. And then the album, you get something different, you get something a bit more a bit more really.
Yeah,
you get something that's like a piece that's the songs recorded, that's that version of those songs, and then you've got the version where you come to a show and it's different enough that it's not like us playing trashed karaoke.
Yeah. That's the thing, that you get a lot of bands play with like a lot of backing track sort of thing, and a lot of the time it does just sound like exactly like a recording, but
yeah,
you want that energy, that sort of rawness.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I get why some of those bands do it. Like totally, and I think it's a cool concept. But for us, I just don't think it works. I just don't think a band like us needs any of that. I think it's just 3-piece. You see 3 guys on stage, and we don't have clicks in our ears or anything. You can tell when you come and see us play, because we're about.
Man, I've seen you play a few times.
Yeah, we play about twice as fast, but yeah, it's and that's sort of what we wanted. Like the influences of the album were much more like a higher production. So like obviously American Idiot, but Songs for the Deaf, Queens of the Stone Age, and then like some more. Instead of just like the really saturated guitar tones that we've used before, which is like a dual rectifier, just with tons of gain and tons of saturation on it. We wanted the guitars to have a bit more room to breathe. So we used like a boutique Marshall amp. We made it a bit more crunchy. You can hear like if you listen to our first 2 EPs and then listen to the singles, and well, now you can listen to the album, you can hear the difference in the tones and stuff. And it just, it feels like it sort of does that a bit more, which is great. And that's definitely like the direction we're going in.
Well, obviously the album comes out on Saturday. You'll have a couple of days. Was that?
It comes out on Friday.
Yeah. Sorry, this is going out on Saturday. Album comes out on Friday. All right, we'd already listened to it loads of times by now.
Come on, Chris, get it together, man. Jesus.
I'm just nervous, man. That's what it.
Dude, Jesus Christ.
Well, obviously you'll have a couple of days to celebrate the release before you head out on tour. Have you got much planned before tour, or just more organizing, trying to get CDs?
Yeah. Luckily we've got some new merch, which is great.
Oh.
Finally, yeah. I think people are really. It looks so sick.
You got some tees.
Yeah. We got some some black and some white tees.
Oh. Covering all the
man. Yeah, all the tones.
Yeah.
We've got we're just trying to like make it look. We're trying to approach the aesthetic a bit more of our shows now. Still like subtly, we're trying to like build it up. So we're just having a little think about that. It's not going to be anything too much because it doesn't really need to be for us. But just kind of, I mean, over the weekend we'll just be celebrating, feverishly watching our phones to see the streaming numbers. And yeah, just sort of rehearsing really. We had a really good warm-up show where we were supporting a band called Chasing Dolls in Swindon.
Oh yeah.
A few days ago, and that was nuts. That was really, really cool actually. Unexpectedly, like really fun show. Like we knew it would be fun, but kids singing along and everything, like mental. So yeah, and just sort of trying to make sure we can preserve ourselves for the whole tour.
Well, obviously the tour is ending as well with a nice sold out show.
Yeah,
Show.
we did
Yes,
it.
we did it.
Yes, finally. Man, I'm so stoked about that. I cannot fucking believe it. It's gonna be so much fun.
I told you it'd sell out.
Yeah, man, honestly, I put a little post on Reddit.
Yeah.
And then the next day I woke up and the show was sold out, and there were people on there saying, "Oh, I couldn't get tickets and stuff." Like, oh, I was like, "Oh my God, we could have sold more."
Yeah, I've had people messaging me today saying, "Oh, there's still tickets." I'm like, "Nah, snooze, you lose."
Yeah, sold out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm so excited, man, and I'm so happy. The last time we played Bristol, I think we managed to sell just about 30 tickets. And yeah,
you had a few on the door then, didn't you?
Yeah, so the total was about 30, but the progression this time, like, because I'm in charge of I can see all the stats and like see who's bought tickets and stuff, and yeah, it's like it's gonna be a fucking sick show, and I can't believe that we're at the stage where, even though it's like a fairly relatively small room, not too small, but
it's a good size.
It's a good size, and I'm really fucking glad that we've sold it out, and I'm super, super stoked that, you know, we're finally getting to that stage where we're selling out the smaller rooms now, and hopefully, you know, that'll just carry on. And yeah, we're I think what we're gonna start doing is playing around here a lot less, and sort of, you know, making the Bristol shows really massive.
Yeah, something special then, isn't it?
Yeah, relatively to us, massive relatively to us. It won't be the O2 or anything. But you know what I mean? Just like have it like an annual thing, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That's sort of.
So I think toward the beginning of the year you played. I think you're playing every few weeks, weren't you? For a good couple of months.
Yeah, we were touring really hard, and it was great. But we sort of were like, okay, that's enough for now. That's enough of playing London, Brighton, Southampton, Bristol over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think next year we're going to be focusing a bit more Midlands and North, because we had a really good response when we went up there in August, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was in August. So yeah, just gonna try and, you know, send some more love up there, and yeah, who knows, maybe go international at some point. That'd be sick if it's next year, but we'll see. We had some plans before COVID, some very loose plans, but yeah, obviously that happened. So
that, and then Brexit and everything.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to get visas and shit, but we'll see. But yeah, for now, can't wait for this tour, man. Like, really excited. It's the last tour we've got booked. Like, we don't have anything booked after this tour. So we might potentially be hibernating over winter in a writing room.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say, what's your plans for sort of the rest of the year? So just
I think we're gonna like knuckle down in winter. We've got a few plans to sort of have a big collaborative effort on the album, on the next album, potentially next album. We'll see. And then just see what we can get sorted for the rest of the year. We might be focusing our sights a bit more on summer. But yeah, just seeing what comes along after the album comes out, really.
Nice. Well, it's gonna be good. You know, the album's gonna be good, and they're gonna be getting a lot of love for it, which is gonna be excellent.
Yeah, I mean, we're really happy with it. I've never been so proud of anything ever, And also with this album, we literally wrote like the album you hear is the 10 songs. Well, it's the 10 songs that we wrote before we went into pre-production, and then the 11th song we wrote in 3 hours one evening in the studio in pre-production. So it was just, we weren't picking from songs, if you know what I mean. It just came together. And oh shit, almost just pulled my headphones out. And yeah, so I think it's I just can't fucking wait for people to hear it. I really think that people will really like it and hear that, you know, we have more potential than just, you know, dun, 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 like catchy chorus.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, I said to you, is it Justin from
Trauma PR.
Trauma PR, Tether, that's the one I was trying to think of.
Tether, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember chatting to him because I think he went to your London show, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
sick, yeah, I'm seeing Trash tomorrow. And he's like, oh, honestly, best punk band in the UK right now. And I straight away messaged you. It's like, you see this?
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Fucking love Justin so much. He's such a cheerleader for us, and I just cherish every moment with him. He's such a good dude.
Yeah, brilliant guy. Obviously, I mean, this is outside of Trash now, but I know they're playing. Are they supporting State of You in London?
So yeah, they're doing really well at the moment, man.
Yeah.
Like they're doing bits. Like it's so sick to see them getting finally some recognition. So I know they had a bit of a slow start with their band. So yeah, like really fucking stoked for them, man. They're doing really, really well.
Anyway, back to Trash. So obviously I told you another person that's messaged me about you guys was a guy called Ash from TikTok. Do you remember me telling you about this?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so obviously he was asking when you're going to go to Derby. Obviously you already said you're planning a bit more Midlands.
Yeah, for sure. My granddad actually lives in Derby, so you never know. Maybe I'll bump into him when I go and visit my granddad.
Well, he I obviously messaged him just before this. I was like, considering he seemed like a huge fan and he'd never seen you guys or anything, so I thought I'd ask him if he had any questions for you. And he has got one. He's asked, what is the meaning behind Dear Kelsie?
Oh, what a can of worms that is. Oh fuck. Okay, right. This might actually be quite a good thing because like, I always got worried that people would see it as being a bit woman hatey, which it isn't at all. It's one girl hatey. Basically a while ago, so there was this girl that I used to date in college. So I used to go to like a living college. I was doing a tree surgeon course. She was doing like an equestrian course. We ended up getting together for a couple of months. It was a very weird relationship, and then we parted ways. It was fine, whatever. We were only together for like a month or so, and then she moved to Australia. She then messaged me when she was coming back saying like we sort of got in touch, and she messaged me and she was like, hey, I'm coming back to visit, like do you want to meet up? So we met up, sort of spent a summer sort of sporadically meeting up while she was back visiting her dad, and it was very nice and we had a really good time. And then she went back over to Australia. I had always wanted, so this is where shit hits the fan. I'd always wanted to go to Australia. And so I thought, you know what, I'll go and spend a couple of weeks with her. I talked to her about it. She was like, yeah, do it. So went over. First day there, I'm jet lagged as fuck, and I don't know where I am, and you know, it's all a bit overwhelming. We go to the bar where she works, and we start drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking, and all of these guys there are just like sort of basically she left me with a couple of other guys that I didn't know. So she was like off dancing with these other guys, and I was there like, what the fuck's going on? Like I started to get a bit pissed off, a bit jealous, and I basically said to her like, you know, to the effect of like, you know, why are you sort of spending all your time with them instead of me? And she just dropped me basically. My first day in Australia of a 2-week holiday. And I was staying at her house, and I thought
2 weeks.
It was meant to be, yeah. So I was staying there, and then one night she just like blanked me, and she like didn't come home one night, didn't know where she was, and I was just like, what the fuck's going on? I went into her work to see if she was okay, and she was there, and she told me she thought that was a really fucking weird thing for me to do. And I was like, I just wanted to make sure you weren't dead. And yeah, so then as soon as that was her reaction to, I literally just like walked in. I didn't say, oh, good, you're here. I literally walked in, was like, hiya. And that was it. And she said that was weird. So yeah, I got a hostel and spent the rest of the time just waiting to go home. Basically, it was a dreadful waste of money and made me feel a tad resentful.
But
Yeah,
at least
and
you
also,
released it in a good way.
yeah, well, here's the cincher is that I sort of messaged her. I was like, look, I'm leaving. This is on Valentine's Day. I was leaving on the 15th of February. And I said to her, like, look, I'm leaving tomorrow. Can we just meet up and like try and patch things up so we can part ways friends and try and like fix something from this? And I got to her place of work, which is also just the only place she hung out, apparently. And this guy turned up and she started having a date with him in front of me. Yeah. So that's why it's a little bit of a barbed song, should we say?
I think for good reason.
Yeah, she was fucking. It's just weird, man. It's such a bizarre way to react to any of it. Like,
I mean,
you know,
even if you've not got like a sort of relationship, sort of connection, like a friend coming over to us, like coming all the way around the world.
dude, seriously,
Like...
it was like it was like I traveled to Australia to be in a failing relationship for 2 weeks. Like, it sucked, and I spent so much money on going there. It was yeah, it was carnage. But then when I came back, I sort of went into something that was quite a nice relationship at the time, pretty much straight off the back. So it was yeah, didn't sting for too long.
That's all right then.
Yeah.
Just the cost that stung.
Yeah. I'm never gonna financially recover from this. Dusting that one off.
Oh my god. Well, what's it? So let's talk a bit more about the album, if you're all right. Obviously you've released a few singles so far, and a few videos. You've obviously got one that you're just preparing. Also one with me in. I remember that. Good
Yeah,
times.
of course.
Looking very sweaty. But the latest single, Far Away, isn't it? That video, where has the idea come from that? It is absolutely
Oh
brilliant.
man, yeah, thanks, dude. I had the idea for that for a little while, to be honest. Just couldn't really, I don't know, just couldn't really like figure out a way to do it properly. But I'm trying to think of when I thought of it. It's definitely like partly inspired. You know the Nirvana video for is it
In Bloom,
In
is it?
Bloom? Yeah,
I
it's
think it's
In
in
Bloom. Yeah, obviously it's like similar to that. But I always thought in my head like I want to do it 90s, like I want it to be, because one of my favorite things to do is like watch fucking YouTube videos of like old, bands of that era playing on like Conan and like
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel, Jim Fallon, all of the Jimmys, all of the shows.
Oh.
And yeah, I just love them, and I love the shit where like there's obviously a cameraman not paying attention, and it switches to his camera and it's just like shooting an amp or something. So we got a few of those in there.
Nice.
But yeah, no, we because Ben because I had the idea and it was floating about, and I said to the guys whilst we were like talking about what music video concepts we sort of wanted to pursue, and we were talking about that, and Ben said he thought it would be a really good fit for Far Away, because the whole basically Far Away is essentially about like just completely closing off and not wanting to talk to anyone. And obviously it opens with, will you please stop talking? And so to have that with a talk show, I was like, that's a fucking genius idea, mate. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and it just fucking came out great. Kieran Gallup, GLK Media, also drummer for Foxjaw. He's done all of the videos for us on this album. And yeah, that one he absolutely, like, we love all of them, but that one he absolutely fucking smashed it out of the park.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff. Like, I think I've watched the video a fair few times just because it's just brilliant. Just that opening bit. Obviously, I opened today's interview with is it trashed
Yeah,
or
yeah,
thrashed?
yeah.
That's just brilliant.
Oh man, yeah, I had that idea from. I was like, okay, because we were thinking about trying to get some like sort of minor celebrity in to do it.
Yeah,
But then we were talking to Key about it, and he was like, I think it'd be funnier if just like I did it. And I was like, yeah,
yeah,
you're probably right. It's sort of like a Foo Fighters vibe, you know, their early
yes,
videos.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think yeah, I was like, right, I'm definitely doing the trashed thrashed thing because it just
Yeah.
happens
It
all
works
the
so
time.
perfectly as well, though,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah, man, it was so good, and like, yeah, the whole video just came together really, really well, and it was like the most fun video we've ever shot. It just, you know, like when you do videos, like sometimes you're playing the song 60 times in a fucking
Yeah.
row. You don't want to be there. Yeah, and Key just kept it really simple, and like really, really fun. And we were done like 2 or 3 hours before we were expecting to be done, which never happens. So yeah, like really fucking yeah, love the video and love the whole experience of doing it
I
as well.
think that really helps with it, the fun aspect of it, because especially you can watch back at what you've just done and just laugh, can't you? Like
Yeah, yeah.
while going through it. What's you did another one? Which one is the one where you're doing the like you're getting changed to see if you're.
Oh
What,
yeah, that's
what,
all alone again.
oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that changing scene was that was Ben's idea.
With it. I've seen so many of the outtakes of that as well.
Yeah, oh man, I fuck it. That was so much fun. That was at my house in that was when I lived in Cirencester.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, like Ben had the idea for that, and I was like, okay, in the changing shots, if you go back and watch, if you didn't catch it already, there's one where I come in the exact Billy Joe American Idiot outfit.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yeah, I've got like the studded belt on and everything.
Nice.
A couple of people have noticed it, which like, I'm glad it's not like.
That's nice. The
I'm
little
glad a
subtle
few,
ones.
yeah, yeah, I'm glad a few people have seen that. Um, but yeah, we just shot in my house all day. We just got like pretty drunk and just fucked about. It was great. It was really fun. Yeah.
What have you got anything special lined up for this new video, or it'll be out by Saturday, so you can
Yeah,
talk about
yeah, it will be. Hope, well,
hopefully.
hopefully. I wouldn't put it past us to fucking, to, yeah, for me to have procrastinated myself into it not being released. Yeah, it should be released on Friday, and basically it's like, so we shot it in uh factory studios.
Oh,
Sorry, I've got fucking phlegmy throat today. One sec. So we shot it in factory studios, and they've got a video room now. They've got the Infinity
oh,
Cove, which is
oh,
sick. So it's just like
nice.
this white corner basically, and because the song's called Nothing to Me, and it's about, you know, it's about like apathy and, you know, obviously things losing meaning. And so we shot it in that because it's like essentially like we're performing in nothing. And
Yeah,
we kept the video super minimalistic, super simple, and just like some interesting shots, uh, just to sort of emphasize that, but still be entertaining instead of
yeah.
just, you know, a white
Just you
room.
playing against a white room.
Yeah, yeah, just like one shot for the entire thing. But yeah, so it's sort of like it's that sort of concept. That was actually really, really fun to film as well. Yeah, we had a really, really good time with that. And yeah, it's sort of, I don't know, it's a little bit more, we sort of really thought out like all the angles a bit more on this, whereas before we just sort of left it to Key. With this one, me and him were sort of collaborating a bit more with like the types of shots and the angles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And it was really fun to have like that sort of
involvement with it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that sort of, yeah, exactly that sort of directing a little bit more. Obviously Q took the, you know, he was in charge of the reins,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there were just like a few ideas we back and forth, and yeah, we've had the first draft now, so hopefully by
Just need
Friday we'll have got the final thing out. Yeah, just a few little tweaks as is always the case, but yeah, I think people really like it.
Excellent. And what single is that? That's for no, is that for the new Nothing to Me?
That's for Nothing to Me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And conveniently, that is the song that we are going to play. So
Right.
thanks again for your time. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
If you want to go ahead and introduce it.
Cool. Well, thanks very much for having me as well.
Nice
And
finger guns there as well.
yeah, there's finger gun, mate. I always notice on video how much I'm like
Oh yeah, I'm the same. Like,
hand signaling
yeah,
like fuck.
I watched back last week's interview earlier, and I'm literally just like I've got Italian roots in me.
Yeah, yeah. Just so passionate, man.
Yeah, fucking
Um,
love music.
it's fucking great. Okay, well, yeah. Up next is our newest single from our album Happy in Hindsight. Go and listen to it. And the single is Nothing to Me. Enjoy.